My favorite subject matter tattoo is a skull, hands down. If you hit me up for a skull, I will find a way to get back in contact with you. All right. Yeah, so what we're doing here today is we're using a combination of some geometric shapes with space to cover this. Space is really good to use as a cover-up element because you know, it's very manipulatable. You can do whatever you want with it. There's a lot of darks, a lot of lights, and you can make it, you know, move whichever way you want. So, okay. The type of style of tattoos that I focus on mostly is like surrealism, I would say. A lot of bright colors, deep contrast, you know, and I like to make it weird, you know. Something a little out there, something you don't see too often. I like mixing elements. You know, like anyone else, I started off just doing, you know, whatever tattoos you could, you know, walk into the door, and then over time it just kind of like naturally developed into something just very organically, you know. Right. People always ask me how to develop a style. Like how do you have such a unique style? How do you have your own look? And I can't really put like a time frame on that. I think it's more about as soon as you let go of having a style. It's kind of opposite of what people think. It's not so much like let me sit here and try so hard to have a style. It's more about when I let go of trying to chase a style, you let the style come to you. So so when the client receives laser before I cover up what was there, it saves me, not only saves me time, but it just makes the possibilities greater. So it saves me time in the design process for sure, because I don't have to consider what's beneath it as much, you know. And it also gives you more outs, you know, more. You're closer to just getting a new tattoo, you know. So she had lasered the upper part of her arm first, so it allowed me to be a little lighter in certain areas and not have to use as much black. Although I still use black because you should always use black, but it allowed me to just be a little more free with where I put the lights. Whereas like down here, I have to be a little darker, so I'm going more stark, like deeper deeps, and then like bright where there is no existing tattoo. You know what I mean? So I'm a little more constricted where I could put a highlight, if that makes sense, you know? And the fact that she lasered up here made the overall composition a little bit more easier to work with, because then I could balance some light here, and then some dark here, and then some lights where, you know, wherever there's major open areas, we can like highlight, you know? So.
My spirit colors, though.
Yeah. And you might say, like, what are my intentions with these colors? And they're only just to match her spirit, you know?
Match whatever shade my hair is. So it will
Like,
match
how do you
every
choose
time I
these
dye my
colors?
hair.
I'm like, I just looked at her and like poured my palette.